On Global TV News Express, Senate confirms CADASO says they redirect fiscal policies to ensure Nigerians get out of hardship. CDS assumes military will not interfere with Nigeria's democracy. Lagos and Ogun police begin joint patrols on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. NDDC and Rivers government bicker over authenticity of cholera outbreak in Suku community. And in sports, Messi stares Inter Miami past Salt Lake in MLS season opener. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television. We are live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. The Senate has called on Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Olayemi CADASO, and members of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Apex Bank to, as a matter of urgency, use their expertise to redirect the monetary policies, the fiscal policies, to ensure that Nigerians get out of the current economic quagmire. Senate CADASO MPC members speaking immediately after the confirmation of CADASO as chairman of the MPC and 11 other members. The president of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, however, hailed President Bola Tinubu for selecting men and women of great expertise that will help the country with policies that would help turn around the CBN and redirect the monetary policies of the Federation for the good of all Nigerians. Meanwhile, the Senate has confirmed the appointment of the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi CADASO, as the chairman and the members of the Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, of the Apex Bank. The Registrar, Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, Professor Abubakar Farouk, has disclosed that enrollment in nursing in Nigeria institutions of learning has increased by almost 50%. He added that the present administration's commitment towards producing competent and professional nurses has seen enrollment increase from 38,000 to 63,000 in 2023. Speaking at the maiden matriculation program of the Mercy Medical University, Iwo, Osun State, he charged the newly admitted students of the institution to patiently go through their training to use their acquired knowledge to serve humanity. Rivers State Government and the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, are throwing banters at each other over the authenticity of the outbreak of the deadly cholera disease in the oil-producing community of Suku in Akuku-Turu local government area of the state. A few days ago, NDDC dispatched a team of medical experts with medications and other necessities to the community after desperate calls and messages from the leadership of the affected community for immediate intervention by the Commission. Addressing the Suku people at the town hall meeting, Rivers State representative on the board of the NDDC, Chief Tony Okocha, emphasized that the NDDC was not a subsidiary of the Rivers State government and therefore does not need the permission of the Commissioner for Health before responding to save the lives of the people of Suku community. The Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, has emerged as the winner of the Parallel People's Democratic Party (PDP) primaries in Edo State. Shaibu won the primaries with over 301 votes. Meanwhile, Governor Godwin Obaseki faction of the party is yet to commence its own election. Nigerian senators has unanimously kicked against plans to increase electricity tariff, describing the move as retrogressive and ill-timed. The upper chamber also mandated its committee on power to investigate the over 2 trillion naira subsidy requirement as alleged by the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu. Kikelomo Okere has the rest of the story.
After a robust debate on a motion by Senator representing Adamawa Central, Iya Ibas, the lawmakers urged the federal government to immediately stand down the idea of an increase in electricity tariff in the country. In his lead debate, Senator Abbas explained that the indebtedness of the country's power sector to electricity generating companies and gas companies had risen to over 3 trillion naira.
Our Senate should note with the greatest dismay the plan to increase electricity tariff by the relevant statutory authority in gross disregard of increased economic challenges with attendant widespread poverty and high cost of living. The Senate might not, that the Honorable Minister of Power was reported saying the nation must begin to move towards a cost-effective tariff model, as the country is currently indebted to the tune of 1.3 trillion naira to generating companies and $1.3 billion owed gas companies, according to him. Over 2 trillion needed for subsidy. Only 415 billion was budgeted for in 2024.
Contributing to the motion, Senator Abba Moro, representing Benue South, says Nigeria must first be sufficient in generation and distribution of power before considering an increase in tariff.
I think our concern for this moment should be how to generate electricity and effectively, adequately distribute electricity. Most of the problems that we're having today, especially in the manufacturing sector of the economy, is as a result of low power. And many organizations and companies are relocating from Nigeria simply because they don't have energy to drive their organizations. And so, Mr. President, I support this motion, and I want to say that this Senate should resolve again, like the Senate did in the 9th Senate, that the desire to raise electricity should be put on hold.
On his part, Senator representing Sokoto South, Aminu Tambuwal, says the removal of any subsidy on electricity is insensitive, describing the move as adding petrol to fire.
The populace are facing untold hardships, and the situation in the country is anything but normal. And removal of any subsidy, not to talk of electricity subsidy, will be more than adding petrol to fire.
In his remark, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, aligned with his colleagues, noting that any increase will further throw Nigerians into untold hardship, especially now that they are grappling with hunger and high cost of living.
And most importantly, thank our distinguished colleagues for their contributions and opposition to the idea of increasing electricity tariff at this time due to the current cost of things across the country and the sufferings of people. And Nigerians are very worried about the following increases in products across the country, and urge the Committee on Power to work closely with the Minister of Power to ensure that the resolutions of the Senate are respected in order to ameliorate and reduce any contemplated suffering on consumers of electricity in the country.
The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, last week disclosed at a press conference in Abuja that Nigeria was not likely to sustain the current electricity subsidy. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State said that the state is ready to deploy 10,000 officials of the state security outfit Neighborhood Watch for state police. Sanwo-Olu stated this during a media chat in Lagos. The governor said the neighborhood officials will be deployed immediately. The federal government and the National Assembly firm up constitutional provisions for the establishment of state police. According to the governor, men of the Lagos Neighborhood Safety Corps, LNSC, a uniform security agency established by a law of the Lagos State House of Assembly in 2016, will be pulled out to join the state police. The national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, who was arrested on Wednesday in Benin, Edo State capital, by operatives of Zone 5 Police Headquarters, has been released on bail. It was gathered that his arrest was as a result of a petition forwarded to the zone from the Office of the Inspector General of Police in Abuja. After his release around 2 a.m. on Thursday, Abure, while addressing his supporters, said the struggle to liberate the people does not come easy. He said his persecution meant to destabilize the party started after the general elections in 2023. Abure says the state chairman, Kelly Ogbaloy, and the state youth leader were still being held and would likely be released later today. A notorious bandit kingpin, popularly called Boderi, who orchestrated kidnapping of Yauri schoolgirls at Greenfield University and the Nigerian Defense Academy attacks has been killed, I beg your pardon. Boderi was killed with another kingpin, Bodejo, in an ambush by troops of the 1 Division Nigerian Army. Army spokesperson Major General Onyema Nwachukwu disclosed this in a statement on Thursday. Nwachukwu says the duo was neutralized with their foot soldiers during troops operations along the Bada-Yawa axis in Kaduna State, Beringwari Road. He says that troops have embarked on several operations in Beringwari, Igabi, and Giwa local government areas to flush out the insurgents from these areas and bring succor to the people. The Trade Union Congress has backed out of the planned 2-day nationwide protest declared by the Nigerian Labour Congress over the high cost of living, inflation, insecurity, and hardship in the country. The Vice President of the TUC, Tommy Etim, stated that the decision to protest on February 27 and 28, as announced by the NLC, was not taken collectively by both unions. The TUC, in a letter written by its Secretary General Nuhu Toro, said the NLC unilaterally took the decision on the planned protest. Etim, in the interview, confirmed the letter addressed to the NLC President Joe Ajaero, adding that by the virtue of the letter, there is no way they can join the protest. Troops of 1 Division of the Nigerian Army eliminated a notorious bandit kingpin identified as Bodero, who allegedly orchestrated many high-profile kidnappings, including the Yauri schoolgirls and the Greenfield University and the Nigerian Defense Academy attacks. Bodero was said to have been killed alongside another kingpin. General Christopher Musa, the Chief of Defense Staff, says the military is happy and better under democracy and hence will not act against a democratically elected government. Musa said this during his operational visit and inauguration of facilities at the headquarters 6th Division of the Nigerian Army in Port Harcourt. He emphasized that the country's democracy was achieved through great effort, saying calls for a military intervention by some Nigerians were unpatriotic. The military chief stated that the government had initiated actionable measures to address the array of challenges facing Nigerians. The Lagos State and Ogun State Police Commands have commenced a joint patrol on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to prevent crime and criminality in the area. The Lagos Police Public Relations Officer SP Benjamin Hundeyin disclosed this in a post on his X handle. According to him, the joint patrol will cover Akara Bridge to Shagamu Inter-Exchange. He urged motorists not to panic at the sight of increased police patrol on the travel route. You're watching News Express coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Express returns, banks sell $172 million as CBN EFCC battle currency speculators. The news continues shortly with details of these and more stories right after this break. Do stay with us. Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of News Express. Thank you for staying with us. On the foreign scene, the UK has airdropped aid to Gaza for the first time since the war broke out after striking a deal with Jordan. 4 tons of supplies, including medicine, food, and fuel, were delivered into the Strip on a Jordanian Air Force plane on Wednesday. Packages fitted with parachutes floated down to the Tel Al-Hawa Hospital in northern Gaza. UK Foreign Secretary David Cameron says the aid would save lives and keep the hospital running. 2 missiles have hit a ship and caused a fire on board. Authorities say in another apparent attack by Yemen's rebel Houthi movement. The UK Maritime Trade Operations Agency said the unnamed vessel was in the Gulf of Aden when it attacked, and that the US-led coalition forces had responded. The maritime security firm identified as a Palo-flagged cargo ship. There was no claim from the Houthis, but they have been targeted merchant vessels in the region since November. A quick look at business. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has stated that it uncovered and destroyed 82 illegal refineries in the Niger Delta between February 10 and 15, 2024. The NNPCL also said that 223 incidents were reported in the past week by several sources. It was added that several illegal storage sites were discovered across the Niger Delta region, while sacks and cans containing stolen crude oil were discovered in Rivers and Edo states. The NNPCL added that 83 wooden and fiber boats conveying stolen crude oil were arrested in Rivers. The Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria has concluded plans to automate its trading operations to eliminate the activities of market speculators and street traders. This was as the association backed the recent clampdown by the government on persons selling and buying foreign currencies on the streets. Since the year started, Nigeria's local currency has depreciated severely, sliding down to 1,900 naira owing to low liquidity and surging demand for the US dollar. APCON President Aminu Gwadabe said the association has developed an automation platform which, if okayed by the Central Bank of Nigeria, would help change things, the retail forex market. The Naira gained marginally against the United States dollar at the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market on Tuesday, closing at 1,542 Naira 58 kobo to a dollar from 1,551 Naira to a dollar recorded. The rate represents a 2.9% appreciation from the 1,598 Naira 54 kobo traded on Monday and a meager 0.58% against Tuesday's rate. According to data from the FMDQ Securities Exchange, a platform that oversees forex trading in Nigeria, the local currency hit an all-time intraday high of 1,755 Naira and an intraday low of 1,050 Naira. Also, the foreign exchange turnover increased to $172.14 million from $66.43 million and $117.32 million recorded on Monday, Tuesday, respectively. The federal government raised a 1.5 trillion naira through bonds at its February auction instead of a 2.5 trillion naira it was targeting. The Debt Management Office, in a press release, disclosed that the 231 bond had a total allocation of 873.53 billion naira, while that of a 2034 bond stood at 621.38 billion naira. Last week, the federal government sought to borrow 2.5 trillion naira via bonds, the second time it was approaching the fixed income market this year. It stated that the offerings consisted of a 1.25 trillion naira with a maturity date of February 2031 and 1.25 trillion naira with a 10-year tenure. In sport, a court in Spain has found former Barcelona and Brazil footballer Dani Alves guilty of raping a woman in a Barcelona nightclub. He has been sentenced to 4.5 years in prison. The 40-year-old, who is one of the most decorated footballers in history, had denied sexually assaulting the woman in the early hours of 31st December 2022. His lawyer had asked for him to be acquitted, and Alves can appeal against the sentence. Alves had been accused of luring the woman to the toilet in a VIP section of the nightclub and had argued that she would have left if she wanted to. However, the court found that she did not consent. In a statement, the court said there was evidence other than the victim's testimony that proved that she had been raped. It also ordered him to pay 150,000 euros to the victim. Lionel Messi helped set up both goals, and Inter Miami survived extended second-half pressure from Real Salt Lake to end a 2-0 victory in Major League Soccer's season opener Thursday morning in Florida. Robert Taylor scored late in the first half, and Diego Gomez added another in the second for Miami, which was dominant before the break but inferior after it, and probably fortunate to still be in the lead when Gomez added on. According to a report by ESPN, Messi was in mid-season form, darting through and around defenders, almost giving the sellout crowd what they wanted to see, with a goal from a free kick and then one from a corner kick midway through the first half. U.S. rapper Rick Royce has said he would like to express his love to Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu. This, he said, along with his intention to bring attention to the Nigerian culture. He made this known in a video that went viral on X. The hip-hop legend said he wants to show love to world leaders and bring global culture to the spotlight. He noted that he would like to begin with Nigeria and its president, President Bola Tinubu. And as we end the Global News Express, let's take a look at our top stories. Senate has confirmed Kadaso, saying redirected fiscal policies to ensure Nigerians get out of hardship. Chief of Defense Staff has assured that the military will not interfere with Nigeria's democracy. Lagos and Ogun police have begun joint patrols on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. NDDC and Rivers government have bickered over authenticity of cholera outbreak in Soku community. And in sports, we told you Messi has stirred Inter Miami past chocolate in the MLS season opener. That's it on News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTime, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using our Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodu saying thank you for watching and see you again.